Welcome to Flyp Academy. In this video we're going to delve into the theme of fate in Romeo and Juliet. This is a very common idea to come up in the GCSE exam, so it's crucial to develop a really solid preparatory essay plan. We're going to structure this essay quite simply, with all the key points you need for the following question. How does Shakespeare explore the notion of fate in Romeo and Juliet? In your introduction, you may briefly touch on the following points that we'll be covering this video. Shakespeare employs foreshadowing to suggest the presence of fate and intertwines it continually with the themes of love and tragedy. The chorus is used as a narrative device to portray the role of destiny in the play. There is frequent use of celestial imagery, such as references to stars, planets, and cosmic forces, which reinforces the idea that the characters' lives are guided by a higher power. As always, don't spend more than a sentence or two on each point, and make sure you're using literary devices that connect the points together. Given these points, we could conclude our introduction with a statement such as the following. Shakespeare portrays the issue of conflict in a variety of powerful ways, including its manifestation as physical violence, the ancient feud between the Montagues and the Capulets, and the emotional conflict felt internally by Romeo and Juliet, which is driven by profound sentiments of loyalty, pride, and honor. This statement sets the frame of the essay and the points you will later delve into. Now let's look at some of the stronger arguments you can make, alongside their relevant quotes and analysis. First, we ought to consider how Shakespeare employs foreshadowing to suggest the presence of fate and associates it with the themes of love and tragedy throughout the course of the play. Take a look at the following quote from Act 1, Scene 4. Romeo's words foreshadow the tragic consequences that will unfold as he states that there is some consequence yet hanging in the stars, one that will bring about untimely death. This foreshadowing creates a sense of impending doom and builds suspense, indicating that the characters' fates are sealed and tragic outcomes are inevitable. Shakespeare employs personification to imbue the idea of fate with agency and control. When Romeo says, "But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sail," he personifies fate as a guiding force. By attributing human-like qualities to fate, Shakespeare portrays it as an active participant in shaping the characters' lives, which underscores the idea that Romeo's destiny is determined by external forces beyond his own volition. In this excerpt there is also paradox, a literary device that presents a contradiction. Romeo's statement, "I fear too early, for my mind misgives," illustrates this paradox because too early suggests that Romeo's fears are premature or unwarranted, while my mind misgives implies that he senses something amiss or foreboding. This phrase thus highlights the internal conflict he experiences as he grapples with his own fate and the choices he must make. The next important point we should discuss is how the chorus is used as a narrative and plot device to portray the role of destiny in the play. Take a look at the following quote from Act 1, Prologue. The chorus employs alliteration and repetition of consonant sounds, such as in Fatal Loins, Pair of Star-Crossed Lovers and Death-Marked Love, which creates a rhythmic effect. The deliberate and poetic language contributes to the overall dramatic tone and underscores the central role of destiny in the play. The chorus also utilizes rhyme to enhance the poetic quality of its lines. In the chorus prologue there is a rhyming scheme which generates a sense of harmony and musicality to their words. The lyrical nature of the prologue captures the audience's attention, while also reinforcing the theme of destiny through the structured and melodic verse. The chorus exhibits foreshadowing to hint at the tragic outcome of Romeo and Juliet's love. Phrases like "misadventured piteous overthrows" and "bury their parents' strife" predict the calamitous consequences that await the young lovers. The last significant point to analyze in this essay is how Shakespeare uses celestial imagery, such as references to stars, planets, and cosmic forces to reinforce the idea that the characters' lives are guided by a higher power. Take a look at the following quote from Act 5, Scene 5. The references to stars, torches, and jewels serve as symbols of beauty, illumination, and rarity, as stars and planets represent celestial bodies beyond human reach, suggesting a higher power at play in the characters' lives. The torches symbolize human-made sources of light, which pale in comparison to Juliet's radiance. The jewel symbolizes Juliet's exceptional beauty and rarity, positioning her as a precious and divine figure. By utilizing imagery of stars, planets, and cosmic forces, Shakespeare underscores the idea that the characters' lives in Romeo and Juliet are guided by a higher power or destiny. This celestial imagery also emphasizes Juliet's ethereal beauty and the profound impact she has on Romeo. Now that we have covered the key points about how Shakespeare presents the idea of fate and destiny in the play, you should also be aware that you need to mention some contextual points to achieve the highest possible grade. Although you don't want to include the following analysis as a paragraph or argument by itself, consider how these contextual points and other ideas may be embedded within your written essay. During the Renaissance, people believed in the concept of great chain of being, which suggested that everything in the universe had a predetermined place and purpose, hence the prominent role of fate and destiny in Romeo and Juliet is historically accurate. Astrology played a significant role in Renaissance society, with people using celestial observations to predict and interpret events, and so Shakespeare incorporates celestial imagery and references to reinforce the idea of fate and destiny in the play. Renaissance literature drew heavily from classical sources, such as Greek and Roman mythology. The concept of fate and destiny was prevalent in these myths, and Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet reflects this influence by exploring the themes of star-crossed lovers and the intervention of higher powers. The predominant religion during the Renaissance was Catholicism, which believed in the existence of divine providence and the theory that God had a plan for each individual. When writing a conclusion, your aim should be to quickly and succinctly consolidate your points and final argument. When discussing fate in Romeo and Juliet, we urge you to not add extra points, ideas, or contextual information to your conclusion that you haven't already discussed. Whereas in the introduction you framed what's to come, in your conclusion you simply fuse your analysis to hit home your argument. This concludes our videos analyzing how Shakespeare presents various themes and characters in Romeo and Juliet. We hope you have enjoyed the series of videos through studying this beautiful and quintessentially romantic play by William Shakespeare. Make sure to review all of the previous videos in preparation for the exam because practice makes perfect. You've got this.